everyone, and welcome to OEM Update Magazine's interactive session on automation and traceability solutions powered by MSR Vantage. MSR Vantage is an IT service subsidiary of the MSR Cosmos Group. With a global network of strategic partners and extensive expertise in cloud, data, AI, applications, and automation, their products, services, and solutions help companies transform their businesses. With proven technologies and delivery expertise from track and trace, asset digitization, smart contracts to rewards, and loyalty programs, this group serves more than 200 organizations around the globe. Infusing automation technologies in manufacturing processes and integrating digital data connectivity relevant to tracking is advancing growth of traceability systems across varied sectors. Through automation, enhances production efficiency and saves time. Usage of barcodes, tags, and GPS traceability helps in achieving supply chain transparency in varied sectors, including pharma, F&B, and packaging, right from the manufacturer to end user. IoT traceability solutions are zeroing in on the expanding market, employing intelligent sensors monitored manufacturing. The manufacturers providing track and trace solutions assume relevance in the present times of digital innovations, robotics and automation and traceability processes, enhance manufacturing, eliminating defective products and duplication going waste. Automation enhances manufacturing, causing optimum production capacity. On this note, today we have come together to witness an engaging interactive session on automation and traceability solutions powered by MSR Vantage. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor and privilege for me to introduce you to today's distinguished speakers. Mr. Balaji Kantrigula, Director Technology MSR Vantage. Mr. Rohit Sadafal, Local Project Management Specialist, Aurangabad Electricals Limited, and Mr. Prasad Kulkarni from Mitsubishi Electric India Private Limited.
We just had knowledge-revealing presentation from our speakers, touching many aspects of tracking. It's talking about track and trace, sustainability and integration. Automatic identification ensures safety and measures waste at an early stage. Mr. Balaji, counterfeiting is a global problem, as you said.
Correct.
From data security point of view, what type of sensors technologies are evolving for design systems of traceability solutions?
It's a valid question. So there are multiple options available in the market. So when it comes to IoT sensors and when it comes to RFID, so the sensors is already there in the market. So like in the earlier speakers has mentioned, so it is not something new which is evolved recently, but how the data is captured from the sensors and how the data is actually secured in the storage environment. So that is actually makes a lot of difference. So there are a lot of cost-effective solutions because of the advancements in the cloud, and we have various options to store all the real-time data, which is coming from all the IoT devices and all the RFID tags and even other GPS sensors and everything. So here we have multiple options as part of blockchain as a service, which is available on the cloud. So once we have all the data which is pumped into the cloud, which is again secured by blockchain, so it will enable a secure storage. So that will facilitate all the benefits of the cloud in terms of reliability, in terms of how speed we can access the data and how we can integrate the data to other systems. Apart from that, as you have mentioned, so we have something enabled by blockchain, which is coming one of the primary, and then there are other technologies which are still evolving. When we have the quantum computing and when we have the other, high-end cryptographic techniques which are available in the R&D stage, right? So as of now, we have majorly one is encryption-based technologies, the other one is hashing-based technologies, and blockchain is the one with the advent of the digital currencies and all. Now we can see a lot of traction and a lot of implementations, especially in the supply chain networks with respect to the blockchain.
Yes, blockchain is transforming the ways of doing things. Mr. Rohit, digital transformation changed everything due to pandemic, as you said. and creation of digital twins, traceability for startups, vaccine, etc. You are talking about the automatic challenges. As Mr. Balaji was mentioning, do you opine that blockchain is secure technology for implementation of encrypted traceability solutions?
Yes, definitely. It is a secure platform as far as the world knows. There are several use cases around the blockchain technology being used. In fact, in our organization, we are also piloting it for inventory management. So that, and in fact, in terms of utilizing it for the smart contracts, for the finance procurement, and for all other transactions, not just the financial transactions, but in terms of data transactions, validating the data transactions. In fact, it's much relevant in our industry for the data transactions which are relevant to R&D, design, and the quality aspects of the products.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Rohit, for touching that aspects of the quality. Mr. Prasad, coming to you, you were touching about the e-factory concepts,
right,
automation systems and environmental changes in manufacturing, IT and data. When you were talking about the benefits, what operative benefits and advantages are derived by using automation and traceability solutions?
One advantage what we get when we have automation system in place, what we see, we basically we basically are able to visualize the data. So once we visualize the data, we are able to capture, we are able to know what are the basically losses. What we would be able to know, identify those losses, and based on those losses, we can take necessary actions. So I think that's the main benefit. Unless you know what needs to be taken care, it is difficult to put your actions into the place. So I think automation plays a very important role because it captures the data and make you realize there is a loss in your manufacturing practices. So I think that's the main reason why we need to have automation system in place.
Yeah, that's true, Mr. Prashant. We have to secure the everything. Mr. Balaji, when we talk about security breach, and if tag is missing,
Yeah.
what other applications besides RFID and GPS can track location of what asset is where like?
Yes. So when the tag is missing, actually now with the advent of IoT, so we have and also with the advent of electronics, so we have very thin layer fabrics which are available now. So that actually replaces a traditional conventional RFID based system with a IoT much convenient system. So it has been an integral part of the packaging system. So it's not like add-on labeling on the package. It also comes with an integral system as part of the packaging. So with that microscopic sensors which are available as part of the IoT, so they can capture the mere real-time location of the longitude and latitude of the particular device, and they can be integrated directly to the a cloud, and all the data available for the further analysis. So this is already available as part of the market research what we have done. These systems are already in place.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Balaji, for the systems which are in the developing phase. Mr. Rohit, what are sustainable solutions to provide faster result in whole value chain? As due to COVID, pharmaceutical supply chain was becoming vulnerable for counterfeiting drugs to enter the market.
When we talk about vulnerability and the challenges together, particularly I would relate to the ecosystem of our own country. So, like Mr. Balaji and Mr. Prasad also pointed out that the solutions they should be tailored to the needs of the organization, to the needs of the problem. So first things first, the solution should have a great UI. That's the first thing. Second thing, technically speaking, it should be scalable enough to match the requirements of different ecosystems. And if time, it's like with changing time, it should also evolve. The system or the solution should also evolve. Third thing, you mentioned about the pharmaceutical industries, like they were all stocked and everything. So when we have a traceability in place, so we well know before and in time that where our blocks will be in the systems. That blocks can be easily mapped with the relevant solutions, and one can always take advantage of this prescriptive or predictive thing. that we are getting beforehand with the traceability solutions and clear the blocks. So data traceability and the solutions can provide you insights, but of course they will require humans to work on it for now.
Mr. Prasad,
Yes, sir.
businesses are very aligning in the emerging new world. Is packaging innovation key to meeting consumer traceability expectations? Do we need the innovations in packaging?
Yeah, innovations are always required, and that is our driving force. So if you look at overall our Mitsubishi's journey as well, so since we were into product business, but now we have moved into e-factory kind of solution business. So innovations are always required, and to meet this traceability implementation, I think innovations in the packaging are required.
One of the questions we received from Mr. Mukund Puranik, and let's see whether he would like to address the question himself. Mr. Mukund Puranik, if you can hear, you can unmute yourself and speak. You have put a question.
Yeah, my question was basically, how do you compare Ethernet solutions with respect to your e-factory solutions? Because normally Ethernet solutions are used in all public sectors very successfully. Like they have machines from many foreign countries of very complex nature. There are always some problems in solutions, programming, as well as some of the machine issues also. So generally they just provide Ethernet line, and those people sitting there can immediately rectify that and give the solution for this.
Okay, to implement any whether it is the e-factory project or any smart manufacturing, end user, OEM, and the automation supplier needs to work hand in hand. So it's everyone's responsibility. When you want to achieve digital transformation, then all these three teams need to work very effectively, and has to be do and hand in hand. So that's my comment.
No, whether your system can interact all such things. That is what my question is.
Yes, definitely we have various plugins available, whether it is a Modbus TCP, whether it is Profinet TCP IP. So we are able to connect to any TCP IP data through our systems.
Okay.
And support from OEM is always required. Without OEM support or without end user support, nothing can be done.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so Mr. Puranik, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your question. It is really great to see you again here. And we also got one feedback from one of our delegate. He's Mr. Kotla Jagdish, and he's from Hyderabad. So he is asking about the systems and facility availability at Hyderabad. He says his list total 3,500 shop garage. So anybody would like to speak to him, he have given his contact details. So it is there in our Q&A box. So probably you can reach out and support him to implement traceability solutions at his end. Yes, we have a couple of more questions there. Probably in the interest of time, we may not be able to address all the questions, but how do you manage traceability and security while serving it difficult to reach terrains? Like when we talk about India as a diverse country in terms of geography, how you will be able to, how traceability solutions will be able to, implement successfully in various terrains? Is one of our delegates is asking this question. Mr. Balaji, would you like to address this? You are one of the experts from the sector. Yeah.
Yes. So this is a very practical challenge, even not only in the terrains, and especially when the system is based on internet. So even when it comes to other remote places, where there is no internet facility, definitely. But what happens with the advent of satellite communications and the GPRS-enabled devices? So the device itself will have the enabled tracking facility. Okay, that actually not depending upon the internet. So there is a separate network there, right? So what happens? It will be having a local cached copy of the entire route. Okay, and then the route will be installed into the device, and it will capture all the metrics, and it will check whether the vehicle itself is actually following the path or not. Okay, it's like a pre-configured route. And if any deviations are happening to the vehicle, it immediately captures the devices. Okay, so what is the advantage of this? Is there are two advantages. Advantage number one, we are avoiding the internet and other sources where it's very difficult to have, especially in difficult terrains and remote areas where there is no proper signal and all. what happens if you have the proper signal? What happens if the truck driver or someone else intentionally turned off the GPS system, right? That is also a biggest challenge. So that is where actually new things were coming up, where they're automatically they have a local cached copy of the data, and it will start capturing the data from the device. So it might not give the data directly to the cloud, because there is no possibility of the internet, and there is less bandwidth, or even the device is turned off intentionally, but it will buffer the data like black box sitting inside the airplane. So similarly, it will buffer all the local copy. Once it got the connection back, it will start uploading all the data to the cloud. Yeah.
Adding to Mr. Balaji's solution, FASTag is a greater example of this technology. So which actually we rely on a lot of these days on FASTag. So we can see it is spanned across India on different highways and even in core areas of India. So that technology works on a similar way.
Got that. Mr. Rohit, thank you so much. Also, while addressing this question, Mr. Balaji, Mr. Deepak Kharia was asking you, hi, we are in dental product startup in Mumbai, manufacturing aligners and facing problems in traceability. Would you like to support us?
Sure, definitely. So if they have any issues, definitely, as we have the contact information with you already, so please share our details, and definitely we will touch base, and let us see we can work together to solve that.
Surely. Thank you so much. And Mr. Prasad, in your presentation, it was very clear and evident, but still, traceability is probably the first step towards automation. And when you see in the industry which is moving towards, say, Industry 4, Industry 5, or smart factories, looking at the emergence of 5G technology, what will be the impact on the integration of manufacturing execution systems to enter product line for better automation and full traceability? This is one of the questions from one of our delegates.
Okay. So to be very frank with you, I'm not the expert who can talk about the 5G communication, but what I'm sure is about the communication will be very faster, and there will be less latency when we communicate the data from one system to another. So I think that's my view on that.
Okay, got that. Mr. Rohit, would you like to add anything to it?
Yeah, with the rollout of the 5G, so today, like most of the technologies in India, manufacturing sector are limited to data transmission and data automation and data analytics. But with the role of the 5G, we can actually automate some of the systems and can manage them with the help of cyber systems. So that's a term what we call as cyber physical systems. So with the help of technology, we should be able to manage the machines from our remote locations. So with the rollout of 5G, we can see much innovations coming into those space. Of course, we are a country where we have ample workforce available with us. So we are not short of workforce, but such technologies are already there in place in the Western countries where they are short of the skilled manpower. But not a problem. But what we can do is utilize the cyber physical systems for the non-productive work, like in the warehouse, in the shop floor, like we can automate the entries and everything. So we can do that thing. So remotely, that will be much helpful with the 5G rollout. Now, of course, adding to the 5G in the near future, we'll also see the Starlink satellite being rolled out, where internet for all will be is a greater vision. So then we can see most of these innovations and solutions coming into the market.
Okay. Also, would like to ask you a question. Like we are familiar with RFID or QR code or barcode. These are the technologies now very familiar with people. What kind of future technologies you see in traceability?
Future traceability, like first things like RFID and QRs are mature thing, because we can see RFID and not just the RFID, because RFID is already there in the FASTag. So that's a very mature thing. And QR we see in the transaction. India ranks first in the online transactions for the financial thing. So with the rollout of RFID and other things, the next thing what we envisage, and particularly from the automotive manufacturing sector, is a polymer thing, which works well with the in all processes, like which is rugged enough to withstand the harsh environments, stay with the material. Or the next big thing what we can see in the traceability is a chip or something kind of a material which is integrated inherently with the products. So which is not seen outside, but that is inherently there in the material, and then we should be only the owner of this particular material or the owner of this data should be able to trace it. So we are looking at such innovations from the material sciences. They are already working on most of the things, but sooner or later we will see this.
Okay, so Mr. Balaji, would you like to add anything to this?
Yeah. I think Rohit has mentioned right. So there are a lot of technologies happening, especially with the nanotechnology that is being booming up, right? So all the RFID next versions are implemented, and they have been, closely integrated with the material itself. Like ideally, people cannot recognize whether there is RFID there inside in it or not. So it is already embedded into the material fabric, whether it can be, a smartwatch, or it can be, some expensive equipment, or it can be a machinery. So with the advent of this technology, imprinted RFID tag imprinted along with the fabric itself. Yeah, so it's already in place, and there are a lot of research and the implementations are going around it.
Yeah, great. Mr. Prasad, this is one of the very important question, and would you like to add any other observation to the same?
No, sir, no. I think Mr. Rohit and Mr. Balaji has covered lot many things.
Yeah, got that. And Mr. Mukund Puranik was again sharing that I had seen wonderful tracing technology at SR Steel plant, Hazira. The whole plant is second-hand purchased from US, UK, but any component at any stage can be known in no time, like which machine the problem is existing, which operator was on the machine at that time, or is there something different than the traceability you emphasize?
So this traceability we're talking about within the plant. It's traceability of the machines and who operated it, what time, and all the downtime analysis and everything. We are focusing more on the product traceability. Once the product has been came out from the manufacturing plant, all the way to the end consumer, it will cross multiple units and multiple endpoints. So how effectively we can trace and how we effectively can track the product. That's what actually the whole MSR Vantage platform is all about.
Yeah, one more. Thank you so much for answering that question, Mr. Balaji. Again, Mr. Deepak is a little more curious. Which are the cost-competent solution? RFID, barcode, or QR code for a dental product range?
Yeah, again, it depends upon the volume, right? So how many, what is the volume and what is the scale that we want to implement? Definitely QR code is one of the cost-effective solutions because of various options. Like if you want to label it, the labeling cost of QR code is much cheaper when compared to RFID and other systems. So, but again, it depends upon the volume and also the data, where if you are more depending upon the scanners and sensors, and then QR code is the best. And if we are depending more on the system itself to generate the data, then RFID obviously, because it itself will generate a lot of information from it. So that's the information what I can present.
Yeah,
now.
he is also complimenting by saying 2,500 pieces per day.
Yeah. 2,500 pieces is like, very less, because when we're talking about the volumes of the data, so hardly 2,500 means I would suggest going for a QR code is the better option, sustainable option.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Balaji. We are nearing to the close of this session. So I request Mr. Rohit, can you give your closing remarks for this session?
Closing remarks, I'll draw a line from this one. When we talk about traceability, most of the time it is expected that we think about the process thing, which is internal to the plant and things. But as the time is moving, we are going into circular economy, taking an angle from sustainability. So in near times, the traceability will be linked to the life cycle assessment of a product, like from its birth to the grave, like Mr. Balaji explained. So beyond the factories also, the product needs to be traced in the market, because the vehicles now which we are manufacturing will be operational at least for 15 years with the scrappage policy in place. So for the next 15 years, we should have a traceability of the product. And in fact, most of the e-vehicle manufacturing agencies, they are doing these things. They are making connected vehicles. So the connected vehicles will help on improve their own process and things. So overall, the traceability as such is like not limited to process. It is also coming into design aspect, human aspects. So design, they are utilizing the traceability data to improve on. So the challenge over here remains like first thing first is like with the materials only. How do we put that material on the various products and processes, and how do we trace that thing? But the upcoming nanotechnology and the material sciences has a solution for it. And we can see a greater thing. So India has a greater examples of traceability. So I already shared about the vaccine reports that we are available with our Indians. So that's the greatest example in the near times we can see, which has a scale completely with the QR code as a traceability. So that's all from my side for the remarks.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Lohit. Mr. Prasad, do you have anything to share about the takeaway or how this this session was for you?
Yeah. So yeah. Overall, it was a good opportunity for me. So that's what I would like to say. But as a organization, we are ready with different kind of requirements from the end user, and we are the Mitsubishi Electric is powered and ready to take the challenges with its tailor-made solutions. So we are geared up for the whatever challenges that we came across.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Prasad. And last but not least, Mr. Balaji, your remarks.
Good. So it was a real pleasure, participating in this discussion, especially with the industry experts, Rohit, Prasad, and they have really made a lot of. So it's a co-learning even for me, and so I was really excited to share our platform benefits. So at the outset, I just want to conclude, traceability and sustainability. It's like both hand in hand. So we cannot confine traceability as just capturing the data and then tracing the life cycle of a product, but it's more than that. It's bigger than that. So how sustainable the solutions are and how flexible the solutions are in terms of the applicability, right? So at the end of the day, it's all cost. So what is the benefit? What is the ROI that is bringing to the plate? So all the solutions which are available in the market and how flexible they are and how cost effective they are, apart from problem solving all the existing problems. So that's what I would recommend. So at MSR Vantage, that is our primary focus. So how we can make the solution scalable and how we can make the solution much more easy to adopt and at the lower cost for all the companies, especially in the manufacturing segment, in the supply chain, in the retail, BFSI, and pharmaceutical segment. Yeah.
That's really fabulous. Thank you so much, Mr. Balaji, for the closing remarks. And it was really a privilege for us to host you, Mr. Rohit.
Thank you, panelists, for exchanging your valuable thoughts on today's topic, automation and traceability solutions powered by MSR Vantage. We hope you enjoyed the session thoroughly. Before wrapping up today's session, we would like to thank our distinguished panelists, Mr. Balaji, Mr. Rohit, and Mr. Prasad. I would also like to thank Mr. Gopal Anand and Mr. Prasad Nair for taking this initiative. We would like our delegates and viewers to stay connected with us on our social media handles. OEM Update Magazine is available on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Additionally, you can also download our app from Google Play and App Store. So with this, we would like to announce the closing of today's session. Request you to stay tuned for more such sessions. Thank you and goodbye.